Hi! In this video, we'll introduce Ultra Karel. So we've been using Super Karel in all of our programs, and again, love Super Karel, great dog. Super Karel knows a lot of really cool tricks, but I'm really excited. Here we go. Super Karel is finally evolving. This is huge. What could Super Karel possibly evolve into? You guessed it, Super Karel evolved into Ultra Karel. And this is huge. This is great, because Ultra Karel knows some really cool tricks. So, introducing Ultra Karel. Ultra Karel has the ability to paint the grid world. So let's take a look at the Ultra Karel API. Ultra Karel knows all the standard Super Karel commands: move, put ball, take ball, turn left, turn right, turn around. But Ultra Karel knows one really special move. Ultra Karel knows a new command called paint. Now notice there is a color inside the parentheses of paint. And what is that? We haven't seen that before. We can put things inside the parentheses. So this is known as a parameter. So introducing parameters. Parameters are inputs into functions. We can pass a parameter to a function to make it do specific things. So if you think about it, functions have output. If we call paint, this will have an output on the world. It will have an effect on the world. Karel will paint the world a certain way. Now the parameters are inputs into the function. So if we pass a parameter, color.red, as an input to paint, then the resulting paint will be red. If we pass as input color.blue, then the resulting paint will be blue. All functions have outputs, whether it's move or turn left or paint, but certain parameters take inputs. So how can we use parameters? All we have to do is call the function we call paint, and inside the parentheses, we pass in the parameter that we want. The parameter goes inside the parentheses, but we have to make sure that we still close the parentheses. Notice that move doesn't need any parameters. Move is a function that takes no parameters, whereas paint needs one parameter. You need to give a color to paint so that it knows what to do. So that's how we pass colors in as parameters. But what colors can we use? Here's a list of all the colors that we can use with Ultra Karel. It's important that you say color dot before the name of the color. So we can say color.red, color.blue, all the way to color.purple. And these are constant colors. There's actually one special color, color.random, and this will produce a random color. We don't know what it's going to be. The others, you're guaranteed it's going to be that color. Color.random will just produce a random color on the grid. But you need to remember the parentheses on random. Random is the only one that needs parentheses. So that is how we use paint. What about conditions? Well, Ultra Karel knows all the standard Karel conditions. Ultra Karel knows front is clear, front is blocked, left is clear, left is blocked, facing east, facing west, etc. But there's actually one more condition that Karel knows. Karel knows a new condition, and that condition is color is, and this one also takes a parameter. So using this condition, we can actually ask a question saying, what color are we standing on? We can say color is red, color yes or no. Color is blue, yes or no. And doing this, we can actually have Ultra Karel do things depending on what color Ultra Karel is standing on. So here's a classic Karel condition example. If front is clear, move. So with this code, Karel will only move if the front is clear. Here we see an example of using the color is condition. If color is color.red, then move. So in this case, Karel will only move if the current square is red. If Karel is standing on red, then Karel will move. So that is Ultra Karel. Let's see some examples of Ultra Karel in action. So here we are in the code editor, and see that we actually have a new section in the block. So we have this paint section. So if we click on this, we can see the Ultra Karel command paint, and these are all the colors that we can use. If we go over to conditions, there's a new condition, color is. So these are the new Ultra Karel blocks. So we want to write a program that lays a red frame around the edge of the world, makes like a red border. So to do that, all we have to do is have Karel run around the sides and lay down red as Karel goes. So really what we want to do is repeat the following 4 times. I'm going to write this out in pseudocode. So we want to repeat 4 times. We want Karel to move to a wall. We want to say while the front is clear, paint red, and move. And then once the front isn't clear, we'll be all the way at the edge, and we have to paint red on that last spot, so paint red there. and then turn left to get ready for the next round. So this is our pseudocode. Let's put this into actual code. We can delete this, we can go back to blocks. So really we want to do the following. Let's make a function called lay red frame. And this function will take care of all the work for us. So all start needs to do is call lay red frame. Let's call it paint red frame. Now what does paint red frame do? This function has Karel move around the edges of the world and paint a red frame around the world. Precondition, Karel is in the bottom left corner facing east. Post condition, Karel is in the same position and the edges of the world are now all painted red. So let's write this function. So what we want to do is do the following 4 times. So I is going to go from 0 to 4. We're going to, really what we're going to want to do is paint a single red row. So paint red row. What will paint red row do? This function will have Karel move to a wall while painting red. Precondition. So what's our precondition? Well, Karel can be facing any direction, and Karel's right is blocked, meaning Karel is standing on one of the edges. So here, if Karel's facing north, the right is blocked by this wall. If Karel's facing west, the right's blocked by this wall. If Karel's facing east, the right is blocked by this wall. So post condition, Karel has moved all the way to the next wall and has painted a red trail. So let's write this function. So to paint red frame, we want to do the following 4 times. We want to paint a red row, and then we want to turn left and get ready for the next row. So to paint a red row, all we need to do is while the front is clear, we need to move and paint. So move and paint, what color? Color.red. So let's move that out. And then let's see what happens here. Awesome. So that is how we can use ultral to paint a red frame. Let's see another example. So in this program, we want to teach ultral to go down the slip and slide. Karel should go slip all the way down and not stop until Karel is off the slip and slide. So really all we need to do is while Karel is standing on blue, keep moving. So let's go to control flow, while, and here we're going to use the color is condition. While the current color is blue, is color.blue, all we have to do is move. So let's try it. Awesome, Karel did the slip and slide. Let's try world 2. Great. So that is ultral. Ultral has the ability to paint the world, and we can make a lot of cool programs with this. We can paint a lot of cool images in the grid world. And now it's your turn to try writing some ultral programs.